It was a long way. Tried many doors. Experienced various modes of transportation. But luckily, it finally made it. Hi, this is Roland, Cisco Switzerland. Today I would like to introduce you a little bit closer to our Webex DeskPro device. I would like to make sure that it is understood as a not only extended screen but also as a very capable video endpoint which is sitting on your desktop or can be sitting on your desktop. So first of all, to the device itself. So it has a 3-to-1 stereo speaker system. It has a 12 megapixel camera which can be closed with a shutter here on top, with a privacy shutter. It uses like a full HD to transfer the image only, but the larger sensor allows to only send part of the picture, so it allows to have a digital zoom on you as a person. So another feature is digital signage. So if your device is in idle mode and not used for some time, then you have the option to send a URL to the device, which is opened up, and which with a touch screen you can also then go ahead and use the web page actively. So you can browse through the website which is displayed and have a look at the various options on this website. For example, now what you can do, and I'm just like browsing a little bit through it to see like how responsive the site is and what you can do with it. Another feature is the whiteboard on the DeskPro device itself. So when we exit this digital signage, we can go back to the device itself, put up the whiteboard. We can choose one of the existing whiteboards, open up a new one, start drawing with your favorite colors. You can invert the whiteboard to become a blackboard. You can also go ahead and like have the shapes being a little bit more idealized, so not fully, so you can still see that it is hand drawn, but the squares and the triangles are a little bit more in shape. There is stickers you can use with different colors, move them around the way you want. You can change the size of the picture. It's like an infinite whiteboard, and you can then store these whiteboards on the device itself. And a few additional features are the network connectivity, which is Wi-Fi and LAN. You can also optional connect another PC to the network out port of the DeskPro if you would like to use it for your PC. The device has an HDMI in, it has a USB-C in, and it has the camera in. So it's basically a video codec with 3 inputs. One of them you can't adjust or can't change anything, but it's like the local camera, which is the input. And then you have 2 additional inputs which you can manipulate the way you can manipulate the input in a plus codec of ours. Then on top you have an HDMI out, where you later on will be able to connect additional screen to it. So that's not available today, but it will be coming later. So meaning that with this desktop device you could have 2 screens for a video conference, or will be able to have a 2 screen for video conference. Another feature is the touch redirect, meaning that you can use your Windows laptop, for example, and control your Windows laptop via the touch screen of the DeskPro. I quickly demo that here. So I'll exit the idle URL, then I'll go to the touch redirect device. In this case it's a virtual machine on my Mac, so I have to enable touch redirect with this little hand at the bottom left. It can also be moved at any place I want actually, and then I can go ahead and zoom into the place I would like to go to. So I can, like as I would be on the laptop itself, I can zoom in with a single finger or 2 fingers. I can like scroll around, and it allows me to just control my laptop the way I would like to. Last device feature would be the Webex Assistant. I can ask the Webex Assistant to join a meeting, for example, or what time it is. So I can ask, okay Webex, what time is it?
It's 22:10.
And then it gives me the time at the moment where I run this recording. It's a little late, but still. So the second part of the introduction will be how I can join various meetings. So we have a whole series of options here. So we can, let me start with the Webex options and then move to the third-party options as well. And let's start with the basic one, or the most complicated one here. So I can go to the Webex Meetings button. I can enter the 9 or 10-digit code to the meeting I would like to join. 4873. I say join, and I'm in this meeting. On the top right I see the self view, just to make sure that I'm in the right meeting, or that I can, just to make sure that I look the right way that I want to, and then I'm in the meeting. So let's move to the second option, which is start the personal meeting room from the Webex button. So I have again the Webex button. Because this is a personal device, it has my personal room straightly in behind the Webex button, and again I can see my self view quickly to make sure that I look as I want it, and then I'm in my personal meeting room with my meeting options available here, from like lock meeting, record, whiteboard, and so on. And then I have a little bit more exciting option. I can just go ahead and say, okay Webex, join my personal meeting room.
Join Roland Bellwald's personal room, right?
Correct.
Sure thing. Joining Roland Bellwald's personal room.
And then I'm also dialed into my personal meeting room to wait for the other participants to show up. Then the next option is the possibility to see when somebody is already in my personal meeting room. It will show on this device, and I have the option to like join this meeting. So I'll go ahead now, and with the device I have here at hand, I'll join my personal meeting. I'm not a host, so okay, as I say, like no for the host, and I'll mute myself, and then after some time it will show up on the device itself that there is somebody waiting in the personal meeting room. I can actually also see who the person is, or who the device is waiting in this room, and I can see for how long this person is already waiting there. So I can just go ahead and say join, mute myself, and then I'll see myself twice because it is my local video endpoint. I'm in the meeting myself. Then another option is joining via the join button, so via calendar integration. So I have a Webex demo meeting showing up here on the device, so this will show up no matter if I use the screen as a screen extension or if the device is just standalone. I can just go ahead and say join the meeting, and it will again show my local view, and I'm waiting in the meeting for somebody else to join as well. Then we're getting to the most exciting or most convenient way to join a meeting, and this is via the Webex application itself. So when the meeting starts, I'll get the button in the Webex application. I can say start, then a second window opens, it says connecting. I'll get the option to choose the device I'm connected to. In this case it is my DeskPro. I can say, okay, I would like to mute or unmute the device and just say like start meeting. There we go, then I'm logged into the meeting, and at the same time my endpoint is also connected to this same meeting. So important here to note is that the device is muted when it is muted also on the application. I can now still see all the participants on the application. I can dial in here with my additional device just to have somebody else joining this meeting, so I'm not feeling that lonely. I see here on the right hand side that my device I'm connected to is a co-host, so meaning I cannot only control the meeting from my application here, but I can also control the meeting from my device itself. So when I go to the meeting, say like I would like to mute or unmute a participant, remove the participant from the call, I can mute or I can unmute everybody. I can decide if I would like to allow people to unmute later on themselves or not. I can say mute on entry, so I have the full control or a lot of control on the device itself, and can raise my hand, lock the meeting, and so on. So this is quite cool because I don't have like only one option. I have the audio and video quality of my endpoint here, and at the same time I have the full control of my application, meaning that besides what already has been seen, I can go ahead and say I would like to switch audio. I can show video on video system only, so this is now selected, but if I unselect it, I can actually see the video participants also inside my application. I can also adjust the layout here. Other options I have, let me like deselect this one again. I can say lock meeting, invite or remind somebody to join the meeting. I can enable the breakout sessions as well. Record and so on is an option here as well. I can share from the endpoint directly, so I have the sharing options here. In this case I don't have anything connected at this point in time, but I could share whatever is connected to my screen, and I can also share from my application. So whatever I have running on my laptop I can share in the meeting, and I can also choose to not only share the full screen but the actual application or a file or my iPhone or iPad screen. It's actually quite amazing, didn't really know that that works. A new whiteboard, and I can say optimize for text and or for motion video. So these are the options I have when I control my meeting from the application. So when I say I would like to leave the meeting, I can also choose to end the meeting for all from the application directly, and all the participants connected will automatically disconnect. So that were the Webex meetings option. So of course our Webex connected endpoints have the most options with Webex meetings itself, but what about third-party meetings? So how can I join a meeting when I'm which are non-Webex meetings? So here we have the option, for example, to join a Zoom meeting. So we can enter also in Zoom the 10-digit meeting ID. We can say next and enter the password, or just say okay, join the meeting. This is not a valid meeting ID, so we'll get a message that it is not valid, or maybe it is valid. I just don't know the password, and I can use the endpoint directly as a video endpoint also to share content, for example, in this meeting. The next dial-in options I wanted to show you was to Microsoft Teams via video interop. So I have set up a few meetings which are showing up on the endpoint directly here. So that will be the first one, Microsoft Video Interop, that has started like 3 minutes ago. I can go ahead and join that meeting, going on mute immediately, and then somebody has to admit myself, which would in this case also be me, so I'm admitted to the meeting, and I can see the video participants as they are in a normal video call. So I have one home DX in the call, I have my web application in the call. I can actually go ahead and change the layouts the way I would like them to be. So I have like the full flexibility of a video endpoint here, and I can adjust the views the way I would like to. I also have the option to share in this meeting via the cable, and yeah, as mentioned, the standard video options which are available on our endpoints, so focus, or going here on the grid view. Okay, so that was joining from the video endpoint to the meeting via video interop. The last and let's say least preferred option to dial into a Microsoft Teams meeting is via WebRTC. So let's say your meeting host does not have a Cisco CVI or Microsoft Teams video interop solution. So you receive an invite, you don't have the video information in this invite, you have a personal device, a DeskPro, where WebRTC is enabled. So calendar integration is also working, so you can also here go ahead and get this meeting on your device. You say join the meeting, then it will take a moment for the meeting to connect. The browser will open up. You need to admit the participant to join the meeting as a Microsoft Teams host. I'll quickly say mute here. It is connecting. As soon as I receive the option here on my Microsoft Teams client, I connect the participant, and then I'm in the meeting. So you'll see I have now here everybody in the call, same participants as previously, but I don't have the flexibility of changing the layouts. So I'm not able to change what I see. I can influence what the other party sees. For example, I can go ahead and change my background picture. So for example, I now have like a monochrome background, all the color is removed, but what I can also do is I can, let me see if I manage to do that. Go into a presentation, into the presentation mode here, and share a presentation on my USB-C channel, meaning that when I change my background from the monochrome background to something else, let's say the background already available, which have been preloaded, I can do this. I can say change my background to whatever is shown coming from my USB-C port. This is also an option, so I can actually on my device see what is transferred, so I can have my like a presentation in the presentations. From the interface here I have the option of a compository, and I can decide that I would like to send not my own picture to the other side, but something else. So I go ahead and send the other picture to the as a video stream. It will go ahead and actually play the video. And we had a look at the various options we have available with joining Microsoft Teams meetings with the desktop video endpoint. So we have the option to use the Microsoft Teams CVI integration, so I can dial natively into the meeting with video. We have the option to use WebRTC to dial into a video meeting. But what about all the other third-party video conferencing applications? I would like to also use my desktop video endpoint. So there we also have your back, so we have the possibility to actually use as a speaker the DeskPro device, as a microphone the DeskPro webcam, and as a camera the DeskPro webcam as well. So you see it changed from using the built-in camera to the DeskPro camera. Also here I can still play around with my backgrounds, and now I have the possibility to use via USB-C the connection, the high-end audio-video elements of the video endpoint on my desk in my application on my laptop. This is not limited to Microsoft Teams. This can be any video conferencing application you use audio and video. Okay, now we come to the next section, which is about how to share to that device, to that desk endpoint. So we have one very convenient option, which is desktop preview, which is I can share via the browser. So anybody in the same huddle room can actually come to that device. I say sharing, and then I can log into devices.webex.com, and then I'll get a mask which asks me for a 9-digit character, and I say enter this code YLX. Say next. It's finding me my device. It is asking me for a locally generated code, so I can not somebody else can actually access this device to share. And then I can go ahead and say like share screen, and wireless sharing is offering me to either share the entire screen or a certain application. I can go ahead and say okay, I would like to share the presentation, and it's sharing my PowerPoint presentation on the screen. So that's the first option. Then the second option to share the screen is the USB-C port to share, or the HDMI port to share. So the options to share the screen are available here. So first of all, I can share my HDMI port, for example here. I can first do a local preview, so it's not going to the other side yet. So I can choose if I want to indeed share what's shown on the screen. I can then go ahead and say share in call, and then the content will be shared to the other party. I can do the same with the USB-C port. I can go ahead and share my USB-C port, preview it first, and then decide, okay, I would like to share it in the call, and the previously shared content is removed. I can share the USB-C part in this same call. So another option for sharing is me being connected with the laptop to the DeskPro device. So that's quite cool actually. I can go ahead and I see, okay, there's a call going on. I can share in this call, or I can go ahead and like also control the device on the top right corner of my Webex application, and also say like share screen in there, and choose to share the application to the DeskPro device, and it will again show as shared locally on the DeskPro and on the other party as well. So the other party will not realize the way I'm sharing this application. So it's just a very convenient way to share the application here. Okay, so another option to share something from the video endpoint directly to the other party in the content channel is the so-called web apps. So we have the possibility since some time now to open a web app while being in the call. So I can go ahead and say, okay, I would like to look at the various video endpoints we have to offer. I can go ahead and see, oh yeah, that's what I would like my account manager to look into more detail. I can also go ahead and draw on this website. So let's say I'll go ahead and choose this endpoint we're looking at the very moment right now. The fourth area I wanted to talk about is the various options I have with the camera itself. So the built-in camera on the DeskPro. At the moment I am in best view, I believe. I have the color removed from my background. You can actually see that the self view shows everything in grayscale, and the other camera is showing the full beauty of my pink background here. So the camera view can be adjusted here on the self view directly. I can zoom in, zoom out, there we go, zoom in, zoom out. I can go left and right, go back to the best overview. I can change the background. Now I'm like in a grayscale background. I can also artificially blur the background. I can have a different background showing up as such, like an artificial background. What I like actually quite a lot is I can have a presentation running as a background. So I can go to the presentation mode of interactive presentation, and I'm like inside this presentation. So I have on the top left here, I have a video built into PowerPoint which is running, so I can have this as my active background while I'm sitting here and kind of trying to impress the other party. So I have replaced this picture on the right hand side here with an interactive picture. What I can also do is I can change my foreground, so I can go smaller, so I can make the presentation I'm showing even larger if I would like to. How do I change these backgrounds? How can I change these like pre-stored backgrounds up here? So I can go to settings.webex.com. as I have a personal device. I can log in with my user ID, it will ask me for a single sign-on. That's the usual way it works in our environment, so I can authenticate with my fingerprint. I then go to the settings area of this Webex site. It takes a moment to load. I can go to my devices, and in the devices section I can see device settings and virtual backgrounds. So I can basically now go ahead and upload a virtual background from the web page here. So that's quite convenient. I don't have to log into the device itself. I can just do it from my web page where the cloud registered endpoint is sitting, and just choose any picture I'm in the mood to, upload it, and have it used as my virtual background. I can also change a few Webex related settings like the name label settings, and if I'm willing to actually share this name label with other people. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that the DeskPro is basically a video endpoint with 3 video inputs, and I would like to have a look at this now a little bit closer. So I am actively now in a video call, so I'm sending the picture taken from the camera, from the built-in camera, to the video endpoint on the other side. So what I can do is I can also change what I'm sending to the other side. So with the compositor I like to use so much, I can change it, for example, to send my camera input to the other side. So this is what my camera I'm recording this video with is sending to the other party. So you can see this. I can also change the input to the second input, meaning I can like show to change to send a movie to the other party. So I think I used this example before. So you can see there's a movie shown on the other side. I can stop that movie. I can, if I'm in the mood, to also send multiple inputs at the same time. So meaning that, let's say I would like to watch the movie and at the same time send a picture of myself. So I'll go ahead and do this. I'll appear now, the camera picture of myself appears small on the other side. I can go ahead and play that, and there we go. I can also change it to the other camera. So let's see, so that was now 2:1. I can say yes, I would like to do like 2:3. So I'm sending the dedicated camera picture to the other side in small and play the movie as well. And what I can also do, if it gets like I can also send this same picture side by side. So there will be this one here. So the video of myself and the content is having the same size. Or I can even do this in triple, so I can have the picture of the device itself, the picture of the dedicated camera, and the video I'm running in the same picture here. I can also like scroll through that, basically sort these pictures the way I would like to, and yeah, that's kind of a cool, neat little feature I have available on this device. That was it. Thank you very much for watching. So I hope it helped. I hope it gave a good overview to show that this device is not only an extended screen, and it's not only speakers, it's not only a video endpoint, it can also be used for various other possibilities. So thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I hope to see you soon in my next video. Thank you, bye bye. Soon also in your home.